where do you get confidence like that? Does that come from your coaches? Does it come from film study? How do you kind of build that confidence?
All those things put together, it all starts with preparation, and leading up to the coaches, giving us the right game plans and all that stuff, and just practicing hard, and putting myself in those situations before the game, and then once the game comes, I'm already in that position. I'm just ready to go.
You're called on.
What's up, Draft Wizard fam? It's your boy Jay Tuck, and this is the part of the draft process I love the most, when you're watching hours of film sessions, scouting prospects, and you come across a player that just makes you feel something. And y'all know, man, we've been doing this for about 5 years on this channel. Time definitely flies, but I don't jump out the window on a prospect unless I'm 1000% sure that I feel it when I watch the film. And when it comes to Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M, I feel it that I can say this player is going to be somebody at the NFL level. He's 6'2", 230 pounds, junior out of Texas A&M, 22 years old. Probably around a 4.4, maybe a low 4.5 in the combine. He had 10 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, over 60+ tackles. This guy is revved up, and we've been talking about linebackers a lot, especially for you Cowboys fans. This is a guy, when you watch him, he jumps off the screen. So let's go ahead and get into the film. So the very first play, the thing that I love the most about him, he comes downhill, he has great instincts, and he lives in the backfield. Like, he lives in the backfield, y'all. I love that, right? He doesn't hesitate. Like, he shoots. He feels shot out of a cannon to me. And that's important for the linebacker position. You can't hesitate, right? Because if you hesitate, you might be last, right? So when you watch him play, now I know a lot of people, what the knock on him is, right? They say they look at his frame. He has a very basketball-esque frame. He has J Tuck calves, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are kind of out on him when it comes to that. But I don't really worry about measurables if I see the football player, and he can overcome some of that with his athleticism and his IQ. But when he comes downhill, y'all, he comes downhill hard, and he's a very explosive tackler and a very explosive athlete. I love him. Now, he's probably going to be more of your weak side linebacker at the NFL level. He's not really built to be taking on double team blocks and different things like that. But if you want to peer war daddy, a war machine, Coop is definitely your guy that you definitely have circled on your draft board. On this very next play right here, you'll see him play at the line of scrimmage. And for you Cowboys fans, this is important, right? Because if you watch the film sessions on Mike Zimmer, he likes to kind of play that A-gap double mug, have the linebacker shooting in the A-gap, but also play closer to the line of scrimmage. And Coop can definitely do that. But also what Zim likes to do, he likes to show and drop. And what you'll see is Coop's going to drop in pretty much a spy right here. I think this is on Jalen, right? And he's going to come down and make the tackle. Now, look how quickly, y'all, he closes in to make this tackle after the spy. This is not sped up. This is no edits. This is just him, mano a mano, out the gate, going to make a play, man. I love that. I love the hunger. I love the explosiveness. I just love a lot of the IQ when it comes to this player, man. He definitely has a lot, and I'm excited to see him at the NFL level. Just watch him again. Like I said, this is not sped up. This is at normal speed. I ain't putting no effects on this. That's just getting after. That is just getting after the quarterback right there. And he definitely does that a lot. Like I said, he had 10 sacks and 5 quarterback hits. So he don't be playing no games. He lives in the backfield. Now, this is where the money resides right here. This is when he pretty much jumps out the screen, and he can do a lot of different things. But you got to watch out for him, because when he's coming, he's coming. Yikes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, he is a revved up war machine, y'all. Like, listen, this kid is revved up. He gives me the same kind of feel when I watch Micah. He gives me the same kind of feel when I watch Ivan Pace and some of these other prospects. If you've been following my content, he is revved up, y'all, and I love it. I love when prospects, especially at the linebacker position. Y'all know that's my favorite position, and I'm so happy y'all want to actually learn about it this year, because last year, y'all didn't want to hear anything I had to say. But, man, he is revved up. He is out the gate, and, man, when he's coming, he's definitely coming downhill. And like I said, you definitely got to keep your eyes on him. So thinking from the Cowboys standpoint, if you have a Micah Parsons, you get a recovered DeMarion Overshown, you can add Cooper out there, you can get really nasty, Coach Zimmer, with these caliber of players out there, because you can't just pick one. You have to pick your poison. Now, of course, this is not a highlight channel. We do want to focus on growth opportunities, but the one thing I will say about him, sometimes he plays a little high. Like I said, he's about 6'2", almost 6'3"-ish. So he can play a little high sometimes, right? But I'm not too alarmed. But sometimes he comes downhill a little too aggressively. He might over pursue just time to time, but for the most part, when you watch him, the IQ is still there. It's not too alarming, but just something to kind of clean up. And if you're a Cowboys fan, once again, Scott McCurley, can he really clean that up? I don't know, but we got some new coaching staff. They can probably work that with them. But like I said, he'll play a little high sometimes, kind of stand straight up. He's not really built to be your trench warrior. So if you want your forward tough, ground and pound, take on double team blockers, Cowboys fans, y'all gonna have to eat y'all medicine when it comes to drafting a player out of Michigan, right? Because this isn't that player. This is a war machine. You can pretty much just drop him on the field out the box, and he is going to be ready to go, and he's going to be able to go on 10. So once again, you'll see him kind of come off the edge and make a play on tackler. And like I said, he is shot out of a cannon. He comes downhill quick. Come downhill, even though he kind of slipped off the tackler, right? He's in the backfield. He's making plays on the ball carrier, which we desperately need, especially in Dallas. Get in the backfield. I don't want my linebackers making tacklers 4 or 5 yards, past the line of scrimmage. Like, I want you in the backfield causing havoc. And this play right here is just showing his pursuit. He really doesn't take a lot of plays off. Like we say, when you're a linebacker, you make your money where the ball is at, and he's always hustling to the ball. Great pursuit. Like, I don't really see him taking a lot of lazy plays. He has good pursuit angles. He's trying to finish his food right there, right? So it's like I said, those are key elements when it comes to watching a lot of these young linebackers, right? At least, do I see effort? Do I see effort? Do I see athleticism? Do I see desire? Like, those are the things that really stand out for me. Some of the other things you can really clean up. Now, once again, like I said, some of the knock on him is his thin frame. But here's what I'll say. He ain't afraid to get down there in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's extremely small. And if you watch me, and this is just my preference, right? Measurables really isn't a huge standard, right? If the film can overshadow the measurables, right? So when I watch a player like this, even though he has a thin basketballish frame, I'm not too concerned about it because he's not afraid to tackle. He's not afraid to go in the trenches. He comes downhill hard. He's not afraid to use his God-given ability. And if you look at, what everybody wants right now, everybody wants a Fred Warner. I want a Fred Warner. Well, Fred Warner kind of has that basketball frame. A lot of people don't remember Fred Warner was a safety converted to linebacker as well. So you go back and watch his draft profile. A lot of people were saying the same things, like what position he's going to be. But when you watch Edgerrin Cooper, he has some of those Fred Warner-esque traits that you're definitely going to love. And just watch how he bends this hoop, y'all. Like, this is come downhill, right? Number 45. Watch that bend. That's a great bend. There's some defensive ends in this class that can't bend the hoop like that. So that's a great bend. So if this guard didn't get off that block, right, he probably would have had another sack right there. But just a great bend, great hips, great leverage. Boom. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And like I said, even though he's a thinner prospect, I don't want to say small because he's 230, right? He'll come downhill. And when he comes downhill hard. Goes. Bam. So he's not afraid to get dirty. So he's not one of these cute safeties, right? He is a true linebacker, just a weak side linebacker, right? But he's not afraid to get dirty, not afraid to get roughed up in the trenches a little bit. Like, I love everything about this guy. He's a revved up linebacker, game wrecking, war daddy machine, and I definitely love his film. I'm probably on film session number 6 when it comes to him, but he stepped up in a lot of big games. So, this is versus Bama. Go ahead and watch Georgia. Go and watch Miami and Ole Miss. The list goes on and on. Playing the SEC, right? He had a lot of quality games. And like I said, the one area that I would really want him to improve on is just his missed tackles. Like I said, sometimes he can over pursue a little bit and miss some tackles. Now, a lot of Cowboys fans, they loved Demarion Overshown. And I still love Demarion Overshown as well. Demarion Overshown had the same problem at the University of Texas, right? So sometimes you just need to clean things up just slightly. And I think this can really be cleaned up for the next level. But like I said, has great awareness, not afraid to come downhill and meet you in the trenches. And you'll see him right here in run defense. Bam, I'm right there. He's right there, everywhere you want to be. And he was causing havoc. I think he had like 2.5 sacks this game, like 6 tackles. Like, and this is versus Alabama. You know what I'm saying? This ain't versus St. Mary's School of the Blind. This is versus Alabama, and he's out there in the trenches, man. But when it comes to Edgerrin Cooper, I definitely love this prospect. He does a lot of great things. Am I concerned about his size? Absolutely not. He's a revved up linebacker, has high IQ, sideline to sideline speed, athleticism. He's violent. He can drop. He's not going to be your man-to-man coverage linebacker, but he's played at corner a little bit. They had him playing in the slot. He played all over the field. He is definitely going to be a jackknife for any NFL defense, and hopefully that will be the Dallas Cowboys and Mike Zimmerman. So comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms. It's your boy Jay Tuck. I got a lot more draft film. Would I take him at 24? Absolutely yes. I had this conversation last night on Twitter. If he's sitting there at 24, you definitely probably need to grab him because he's not going to be sitting there for you in the second round. But if you want a revved up war machine Mike Zimmer, Edgerrin Cooper is definitely your player to go get. Peace.